Good evening. How are you, parents, students, wherever you are? It's just a closure of school, and I want to share facts with you. You, as a student, how many times do you read on your own without a teacher being there, without your parent forcing you to read? And do you know your goal in the first place? I know there are so many good students out there who read without being forced. Nobody can supervise them. They read because they know the importance of reading and they actually know the goals they have. They know that success cannot come without you setting goals, without persisting in what you want. They understand that it's not whining, complaining, or giving labels to their teachers that will give them marks. Sometimes I'm surprised when I see students who say they are hopeless. So when you're already hopeless, do you think there is any miracle that will happen or somebody will save you from the situation? If you as a patient, you're already hopeless, do you believe that a doctor would perform any miracle to give you hope? Even God himself tells us that we have to have hope and we have to actually testify or pronounce what we want for ourselves. So I'm just talking to you students today in the evening. It's not that I'm mad at you, but I'm just giving you facts. It is a fact that we have to be optimistic ourselves because there is something called self-drive and it comes from within, it's not from without. If, for example, I'm a parent and I believe I can't get fees for my kids, no matter what somebody does, even a man of God comes and prays, nothing will happen. But if I believe, even if I don't have a shilling today and I believe that by the time people are opening in 3 weeks, I'll have 50,000 shillings, then I'll have it. Now, you are students, especially of this generation, and I'm not saying all of you, but some of you, you believe that there is a miracle a teacher can perform, but you, as a student, cannot perform it. Now, tell me what spices the teacher would use as a miracle to give you hope when you yourself, you are proclaiming that you are hopeless about a certain subject. There is another thing called smart work. Most of the students are missing on this. You don't want to be smart in capturing content, but you want to be smart in sitting for exams by quickly having shortcuts of carrying papers to the exam. You believe that you can pay to have questions during the exam, and then you will have a shortcut to an A or a B or a B plus or a C plus, when consistently you've been scoring a D. And from my observation as a teacher, these kind of students, even when a teacher walks to class, they would judge them by maybe what you're putting on. They know in a school who wears one sweater throughout the term. They know the kind of shoes teachers put on. Yeah, they even know the kind of food teachers eat in the staff room. And they have a lot of stories even about other students. They would gossip. They have all the time to talk about the best hair. Yeah, the best haircut in the staff room, the best hair done by the teacher. But they cannot actually tell what topic is so good to them and what topic they're having weaknesses. And if they have weaknesses, what they can do in this. I can assure you, if you are not going to have an inner drive, that self-drive that tells you that even when a teacher is absent, then you have to open the book, read or work on an activity, then all is not well with you. Remember, at any point, if you study the aspect of performance and study, you as a student have a role of 75%. Now tell me how 75% comes by a teacher coming to class, giving you an assignment, teaching a topic, and then you demand again that the same teacher maybe has something to do with your performance. I don't deny that a teacher empowers a student, but is only a facilitator and a guide. A teacher is not a miracle thing, let's say Jesus, that will just make it that a student captures information without actually putting some effort in it. The actual aspect is that even when you look at these low, let's say day schools, I myself studied in a day school, and I understand what it means by a student who is in a day school, especially as a day school that is struggling. You as a student have to do a lot. You have to go home after you finish tasks, you've prepared a meal, maybe you've set aside the cows and all that, and you have to set aside hours to read deep into the night, or wake up so early, dip your legs even in water and read. And when you are reading, you are just not opening pages. You have to ensure that you are using a highlighter to establish those key points. You are possibly reviewing your work, checking on where you cannot understand and where you can. You are writing a composition maybe every week, and you go to the teacher and ask, you underlined here, I cannot get why you did underline. Possibly you'll find you are redundant. Maybe you are repeating yourself. Maybe you are doing explanations instead of descriptions. So, this is a hot talk that I'm actually raising because I'm concerned. There are some sort of students who are there to complain. And at the same time, unfortunately, we have maybe the boards of management of the parents, teachers, associations that are not very keen on understanding strategies that can enhance performance and how they can also make, students realize that there is a lot. 75% of performance is supposed to be brought out by them. Because I understand there is a time we have really struggled with students. You go to class, you teach, you reteach, you review. You even read out questions to them. But unfortunately, the external motivation cannot work. But we have a situation where, again, I've interacted with students who even scored 200 and below. And these students were self-driven in a way that they could bother you. They come to you in the few minutes that they have. They consult, they bring questions, they sit in groups, discuss. Yeah, they read a book like 5 times. If it's Fathers of Nation, for example, they read it 5 times and they come tell you, is this what happens at this spot? These are self-driven students, and you like it or not, these are the kind of students who will score a better grade than the marks they came with from primary school. They'll obviously score to surprise even the community and their parents. But for this other sort that just complain, they whine, they even show hopelessness, they repeat mentioning things like they would say, we've not gotten the book. So if you've not gotten the book and a teacher has read with you in class, maybe there's a time they have discussed with you in class, they have even gone page by page. Tell me, who has a problem here? The teacher has even given you time to present and you're not getting it. So this is a topic that I cannot just talk once and end, but I'm going to have it consistently, especially now that you're having holidays. I want you as a student, especially candidates, and those who are in Form 3, because you are soon being candidates. The Class 8 students also and 7, you are almost sitting for an exam that will determine which school you'll move to after grade 9. So be assured that there is a lot of part you have to play as a student. And remember, some of us take English as if it's just, I can't compare it to anything because I know PE has its role, CRE has its role, yeah. Music has its very important role, art too, and any other subject. So I won't compare it and say like whatever, it's better than what, but I know, given what you want and given the situations in Kenya, you have to focus. It's not a time to pamper you and tell you, yeah, we've heard you, that this is what you want, so you are given. This is not Kenya where you are given what you want. It is where you show us the merit you have and then get what you deserve. So wake up and start working.